Hey Pisces, welcome to my channel. I hope you are all doing well, Pisces. So this is your collective love reading. Love reading for the collective energy of Pisces, strong placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, any other strong placements. Let's see what's going on for you, Pisces. In your last general reading, it was about pulling back your energy from situations that are not reciprocating, protecting your energy. And it did feel like you were a little drained, Pisces. So the advice from Spirit there was to just pull back a little bit and take some rest. So I hope you've been able to do that. I do sense that at this time you could be experiencing extra sensitivity or hypersensitivity, especially now in this season as we move into Scorpio season. I think today actually marks the beginning of Scorpio season. The veil does become thinner. So the boundary between the physical world and the spirit world does become thinner, and being as sensitive as you are, Pisces, you could pick up this energy. So it's important that you ground your energy at this time. Okay, Pisces, let's see what's going on for you in the love department. Remember, and I've been saying in all of the readings, that for a love reading, it can be romantic love, but love, the energy of love is everywhere. It's in all our relationships. So take it as it resonates. It could be family, it could be friendships as well. But let's see what comes through for you. I do get very specific messages sometimes, so if that doesn't resonate for you, Pisces, don't make it fit. Okay. Spirit, please and thank you for the sign of Pisces. Messages of love, light, and guidance. Negative energy must leave the space now. Okay. Let's see, Pisces. For the sign of Pisces, what do they need to know for love? Ace of Swords. So communication, clarity, truth, protection, boundaries as well. Swords energy is about boundaries. It is about communication. And the aces are new beginnings. So there could be a new beginning here in communication, Pisces. You could be journaling and receiving a lot of insights from that. You know, aces are one energy, so communication with yourself through journaling or through meditation is what I'm picking up here, Pisces. But you are receiving clarity about something. This is also about clarity. So this could also be a conversation that was initiated or is about to be initiated. Let's see what the other cards are saying. What else with Pisces? The Sun. Wow, that's beautiful energy. Card of Leo, Major Arcana. Healing the inner child. Solar plexus energy. That's all about self-worth, self-confidence, justice, another major arcana, card of Libra. It's about balance, fairness, looking at things from both perspectives, unbiased judgment. Let's see, what else for Pisces, please and thank you. Wow. Another major arcana, the High Priest, Hierophant, card of Taurus. This is about commitment, contracts, some kind of commitment energy here, but also it is about tapping into your spirituality. And I got that strongly with the Ace of Swords card. I don't always get that energy with the Ace of Swords, but for your reading, I picked up that there is a lot of spiritual insight that is coming in for you right now, Pisces. Almost as if you are unlocking secrets, unlocking timelines. Three major arcana. Page of Swords. So someone could be observing you here, Pisces. Silently observing you, watching your socials, paying attention to what you are doing, what you are busy with. This could also be you exploring new knowledge, new content. You could also be observing someone here, Pisces. And what else? The Empress, another major arcana. Card of Taurus, birthing something new into existence. Card of Venus as well. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and we've got Libra, we've got two Taurus energies here, all major arcana. And that strong Venus energy. Venus is the planet of love, of creation, of music, of art. So I feel like this feels very personal, Pisces. I'm not sensing another energy here. I'm sensing that this has to do with self-love. And it is a love reading. So the bottom of the deck, the Two of Swords energy. So coming out of a period of confusion, of feeling blindsided maybe. Swords energy again, it's about communication, it's about thinking. There's a little bit, or there was a little bit of overthinking here in the situation, Pisces. Maybe with the last full moon, there were a lot of things that came up for you to be integrated or to be seen, and you weren't yet ready to process that. And because of this overwhelm, because the Two of Swords energy can be a blocking energy, it can be an ungrounded energy, it can cause anxiety, especially with overthinking here, and especially if you are steeped in emotional overthinking. You needed to take a step back and focus on your spiritual growth is what I'm sensing here. Some of you might have recently just gone back to church. I'm getting that energy. Or consulted with a minister, consulted with a high priest. You may be looking at counseling or coaching with a spiritual mentor. But there's definitely something new that you've started here for your own sense of groundedness, for your own sense of stability. I just want to clarify, Pisces, 4 major arcana as well. That's big energy. When the major arcana show up, especially if it's the majority of the cards on the table, it usually means that something divine is intervening here. You could also be, tapping into your own intuition and spiritual gifts here, Pisces. Spiritual knowledge coming in for you. And it feels like new knowledge. You're not sure where it comes from, but it is what your soul is remembering from lifetimes and timelines. Of being a healer is what I just heard, of being a healer. And it could be a little bit, not overwhelming, but interesting and curious to you right now, Pisces. The things that are coming up for you. You are looking at this with curiosity and open to, where this journey is going to take you next. Clarify, please clarify, Holy Spirit, why is the Ace of Swords here? The Emperor, card of Aries. You could be dealing with the Aries. This is another major arcana, the Divine Masculine, the 4 Kings in 1. So what could be happening here is that you are integrating your own masculine energy and trying to balance it out with the feminine. A lot of you could have been in strong masculine energy. Maybe you own your own business. Maybe you are a single parent. Maybe you have a high-profile job in a corporate environment that requires you to be in action energy, Mars energy, because the Emperor is Aries energy ruled by Mars, and Mars is the planet of action. It's a planet of fire. It's fire energy. So there's a lot of action going on here, and 4 Kings in 1, and there's a couple here. I didn't even realize when I picked up the Empress, we've got the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine here. So this could also be a divine partnership for you coming in, Pisces, because of the work that you are doing for your spiritual growth and for your ascension. This could be coming in for you. You could be attracting your divine partner. And how that happens, Pisces, is as we do the spiritual work, and this is also the work you've been doing, another card of fire, Leo energy. You've been doing a lot of work on rebirthing yourself, rebirthing new ideas, rebirthing templates, rebirthing beliefs, rewiring your system, rewiring how you look at things, old templates of being. And that requires some inner child work, also reparenting yourself and giving yourself back, the love that you desire, or the way that you want to be loved, giving that back to yourself and stepping into a balance of masculine and feminine energy. So this card is clarifying the Ace of Swords. There could be communication coming in here with a prominent masculine energy, Pisces. And remember that masculine doesn't have to be male. It is just someone that embodies a lot of healed masculine energy. The Emperor is not always healed energy. It can also be controlling, manipulative, but that's not the energy that I'm getting in your reading. I'm getting a healed masculine energy. Could be male or female. That's coming into your space. Some kind of communication is coming through here. Why is the Sun here for Pisces? Please and thank you. Wow. Why is the sun here for Pisces? The sun. Double major arcana energy. Wow, that is beautiful, Pisces. This is about your happiness. This is about your joy. This is about the ultimate fulfillment. It's about finding happiness in every single moment of the day. It's not about arriving at some point and feeling happy. It's not even about the perfect partnership or the perfect love. This is about self-love. And what's so incredibly powerful about this, Pisces, is that nobody can take this away from you. There's no relationship, no circumstance, no situation that can interfere with this energy. What you've evolved into and what you're stepping into is a sense of success from within, a sense of joy from within that's no longer dependent on other people's opinions, others people's validation, no longer dependent on the definition of success in the external world. You know, the nice car, the big house, the big garden, the happy family, nice clothes, beauty, you know, all of those material things that society has done a brilliant job of defining as success. What you are stepping into, and I think you've gotten to a point, Pisces, maybe you had all of these things and you still felt a void or an emptiness inside, and that has caused you to shift perspective and to look at your own inner source of happiness. That's incredible energy, and that's confirmation. Thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation. Wow. I'm always amazed when that happens. Why is the card of Libra Justice card here for Pisces? I feel like you've also been doing a lot of work on your heart space, Pisces, and being kind to yourself. Because if you look at the balance of energy here, she's holding, you know, a heart and a feather that's being balanced on these scales. And it's this lightness of energy that you are feeling in your heart space right now because of this double sun energy. Why is justice here for Pisces? Please and thank you. Okay, so there's a pause here. 3 of Wands. Waiting for something to come in. You could be waiting for a shift in career, Pisces. You could also be waiting for someone that's visiting from overseas. I just heard that for some of you. You could receive an unexpected visit. This is also about having done the work and now waiting for your ships to come in, waiting to see what manifests out of this work that you've been doing. And that's the balance energy that's coming in for you. Page of Swords again, clarifying the High Priest or the Hierophant energy. So I do get, see, we've got the Page of Swords in 2 different decks now. I definitely do get that there is some kind of mentorship here that you are exploring with a spiritual teacher, with a spiritual master. This could be a priest, this could be a Swami, a Reiki master. There's some knowledge that you are gaining from this. You know, this could also be a coaching partnership, a mentorship. But something is happening here with regards to your spirituality. And I think what you've realized, Pisces, is that as intuitive as you are, you're stepping into new territory here and new knowledge. And we all need guidance along that path. Every single healer, every single person needs a mentor to be able to ground our energy, to ensure that we are on the right path, to help us integrate the knowledge that is coming through for us. And I'll share a personal experience, since starting this healing journey and my own healing work. As I practice this healing work more and more, I find that the downloads and the gifts are starting to come in thick and fast. And at one point last week, I realized that I was feeling very ungrounded. And that's because I didn't have the tools to be able to manage the amount of energy that was coming through to me. And so I realized what I do need is not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but some kind of spiritual guidance to help me integrate and to help me process what's coming through, especially to manage the energy, to balance the energy, and to keep me honest and keep me sane, keep me honest and keep me on the right path. Because what can also happen is, and it has happened, and I have fumbled a couple of times, is that as a healer, my role is to channel source energy and to channel spirit energy. I am not the healer. I am merely the channel, the vessel through which the messages come through, and I facilitate that. And if you're not careful, you can forget to thank source, you can forget to thank spirit, and it can get a little bit to your head, especially when you get amazing feedback about a healing session or about a reading you've just done. The ego can come in there. And this is where the guidance is needed and the grounding is needed. The person that you're connecting to has been on this journey, has been on this path, has integrated their own lessons. I feel that this person is very empathetic, but also doesn't take nonsense or BS. And they will help you to establish energetic boundaries as well, Pisces, so that you don't end up overgiving of your energy again, because that's usually what happens with healers as well. If there is an emergency, if you're a doctor, you are going to go. So similarly with energy work, you can, overextend yourself, especially when there's an emergency, or you feel like you need to help someone. Why is the Page of Swords energy here for Pisces? Judgment. So definitely tapping into your higher self. And I did feel this is the card of Scorpio. Major Arcana. You have a lot of Major Arcana here today, Pisces. So definitely divine, something divine is going on here. But what I was saying when I picked up this Page of Swords for the first time is your soul is remembering. And you see how her higher self is, coming through there. She's able to tap into her higher self, her soul energy, understand what her calling is. There's new knowledge, I feel, that's coming through to you now, Pisces. New knowledge, new insights. You're finding that you just know certain things and you're not sure how. And that's also why you might need this mentorship or guidance. Why is the Empress here for Pisces? The Ten of Swords energy at the bottom of the deck, the Heartbreak card. So, this is the end of a cycle of self-betrayal, also feeling stabbed in the back. And this can happen when we do evolve our energy, is you lose people. You lose people and things that no longer resonate with your frequency, and that can be a painful process. and painful realization of who was actually in your space to genuinely support you and to bring genuine love versus, who was in your space just to benefit from the energy that you were giving. And that can feel like a stab in the back. Usually in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the 10 of Swords is a man lying face down with 10 swords in his back. It's an energy of despair, it's an energy of shock, of horror sometimes, because, the realization that certain energies or certain people that you thought were in your life to stay have fallen away. And it's almost like they can't access you anymore, even Pisces. They're not even allowed to tap into your energy. They are not allowed. When I say allowed, it's like the law of energy and the law of frequency. So if you are at a certain frequency, anything that doesn't match that or higher than that is not going to be able to find you. It's almost like tuning into a radio station and getting static energy. If you don't find the right frequency, you can't tune into the channel. And that is what, people that are not going to match your energy, are not going to reciprocate it. What naturally happens is they are then unable to reach out, unable to find you. And it happens naturally and energetically without you even having to do anything. And this is clarifying the Empress card. So it is about your new energy, your 4 queens in one. You've integrated, queen energy. And you are rebirthing yourself. Learning from the muddy experiences as the lotus grows, through the muddy waters. Tapping into your heart space. Look at all of this green energy. And integrating your emotions, Pisces. That's what I feel is happening here. And it is post a period of heartbreak, but also understanding. And again, when we do this inner child work with the sun energy, there's a lot that can come up for us relating to heartbreak. Things that we might have forgotten. All of these threads are like downloads or memories that have become part of your central nervous system, your way of being, unconscious, triggers or traumas that come up when we start to do the work, when we start, to start the healing process for ourselves. A healer cannot, bring forth healing unless they've gone through their own journey of healing. Then they understand the medicine and they're able to then bring that medicine forth to their people. And this is, I feel, what you have been doing, Pisces. Integrating a lot of this into your own healing. Behind the 3 of Swords energy was the Justice card again. So again, about balance. Just get a closing energy for you, Pisces, to end off this reading. So I do feel like, this reading felt a lot like self-love, a journey into self-love, a journey into the reclamation of yourself, of sovereignty, walking away from emotional situations that drain your energy. And if you are looking for love, Pisces, this is when, the right kind of love will then come in for you, is when you have done, when you are busy with the healing work, when you're actively working on yourself. And I'm not saying we have to be fully healed to find divine partnership. Not at all. In fact, we never really are. we are always, working on this. A friend of mine said to me on Saturday, like, does it ever end? And we were like, no, bongs. It never actually ends. Healing happens in circles, and what's beautiful about it, though, is that even though you come back to similar situations or cycles, it's never at the same vantage point. So you have different perspective, you have a different way of seeing. And because you are aware of the triggers and the traumas and you've done the work, when they do show up again, look what flipped over, the High Priestess. That's your energy, Pisces. Your major arcana, and that's about downloads and intuition. So what was I saying? So because we know or we understand our traumas and we've integrated them and we've been honest about facing them, when they do show up again, the healed choice then is made versus the unhealed choice. Closing advice for Pisces, please and thank you. Wow. Again, repeating message again. There are so many repeating messages today, Pisces. The Empress energy. So you could definitely be dealing with a Taurus, but this is about embracing your feminine energy, male or female. It's about stepping into the energy of receiving, because you've been in giving energy. You've been in masculine energy, Pisces, holding everything together, a lot of giving, a lot of action. Now is your time to rest and integrate and receive your blessings. Receiving is something that's very difficult for me, and I am a Taurus. It's something that that I am learning, is to accept love, to accept when someone wants to gift me something and not feel guilty about it. That's also, there's healing that needs to take place there with regards to the energy of receiving. And if you are unable to receive, if you feel like you are always needing to be in masculine energy, that's the broadcast you put out into the universe. And there's an imbalance of energy there. So that's where justice comes in, to bring about balance between your masculine and your feminine energies, Pisces. But right now, what you are integrating is being able to receive. And I think you're receiving this knowledge, you're receiving these insights. If you haven't already considered, a mentor, a spiritual mentor, a guide, a life coach, a spiritual coach even, look into that, Pisces. Look into that for guidance. I do spiritual coaching as well, life coaching. So if you are interested, you can reach out. My details are below. And if this reading resonated for you, Pisces, please reach out or leave a comment. I love to read your comments. This is beautiful energy. I am thrilled for you and sending you so much love and many blessings. Until next time, Pisces.